This is Fraser Lieben here. I'm just at university as always, living life to the fullest, man, trying to stay in there. Today, as you probably see from the title, I want to talk about Israeli-Palestinian relations and that whole Middle Eastern, basically World War III scenario, if you really want to get into it. But here are some reasons why not the people in the West Bank. The people in the West Bank are doing well. They're actually integrating, which is my proposed strategy that they use, and then protest Israel from the inside, basically, but as citizens. They're doing that, and they're doing pretty good. This is for the Gaza, the people from Gaza on on the western side of Israel. Those guys been in the news repeatedly, freaking firing rockets, getting bombed, just terrible situation that they're living in. Humanitarian aids go in there, but they're not reaching them. They're really isolated and cut off. And here are some reasons why they just cannot win against Israel, and at this whole point, this whole entire jihad against Israel is just fruitless. It's not fruitless at all. It's just dead in the water. I got a lot to get into, so let's get right into it. All right. I don't think that Israel or the UN will even allow the eradication of the Jewish government set up there in the first place. There's too many strategic institutions in Israel. Israel has some of the most technically advanced companies in the world. Tons of research is done in Israel. It consistently ranks above its size in technological advancement. It ranks 10th in the world for all countries in technological advancement. That's right behind the United Kingdom. Okay, Canada was number 6 though. You know what I'm saying? But still, that's a heavy hitter in the game. And when information technology systems have become like the staple of what you can do, that's basically a really good thing for Israel. The UN would never back down to a fight from Palestine if they wanted to take on Israel. Oh no. That'd be eliminating that'd be disrupting a lot of advancement for humanity, and they don't like that. Right after that, I've wrote down, there is no future for the Palestinian movement. The Iron Dome placement are one of many newly technological implementations bought by the Israelis in the defense of their homeland. They have tons of new weapons, man. They're basically as heavily armed as the United States. They have freaking the most advanced warplanes. They have Predator drones. As you've seen, they have Reapers. They have those big surveillance ones that Iran captured recently. They are really stacked up militarily wise. They have one of the best special forces programs I think in the world. The name escapes me at this moment, but they're really technologically savvy and something to definitely be trifled with. Not just the Palestinians, but to the whole Middle East. The Palestinian movement it's happened for 50 years. It's been happening for 5 decades. And there's not even any progress. Like, if anything, they've just gotten bombed. I know I'm not Palestinian, and I shouldn't be really talking about matters that I'm not personally involved in. But this is a pretty big matter. This has plagued the world for 50 years. And I know there's a lot of things, I'll rather die than Israel, come here, and all this radical jihad nonsense. But it's basically a world problem and not just your guys' problem. That region is a definite hotspot in the world, and it's very important. Oils in that world. It's the middle of the world. It's called the Middle East for a reason. The U.S. would also intervene if ever Israel fell to the Palestinians or any other government. Even before then, while Israel was in danger, the U.S. would be right there. Don't get that wrong. They'd be coming with their 10 fleets of aircraft carriers and their like, I don't know, 5,000 manned aircraft. So, like, it's ridiculous. Here are some reasons why if Israel ever fell, the U.S. would intervene. The first reason is culturally Israel is the only westernized style democracy in the Mideast. I know that there's proxies like Afghanistan, Iraq, and Pakistan, but Israel's like a true democracy. Like it doesn't need any incentive to be a democracy. It just always has been a democracy, and it's got a really stable tradition for that in its 60 years or 70 years of being. Also, point number two, the technological, as I've already gone into, technological advancement of Israel is irreplaceable. It's the largest center for information, this is a fact, of information technology engineering outside of Silicon Valley in California. It is a very technologically savvy place, and the U.S. would not give up Silicon Valley, and they would not give up Israel. Number three, the Jewish lobby in the U.S. is extremely, extremely influential. They have about 100 lobbyists that literally bribe the shit out of American senators. Like, mostly they're the senators that are a little bit nuts to begin with from, I'm not disrespecting the American government, but there are some senators who are a little bit fundamental, and they're usually Christian evangelicists, and they're being bribed by Jewish lobbyists because they believe in the Jewish cause. They think that the homeland is Jerusalem and all these other things. So there's them who would definitely vote for a war against anyone who attacked Jerusalem or the Jewish state of Israel. Number four, not wanting. This is a little bit controversial, but the Americans don't want the Jewish people to gather anywhere else. It is pretty much convenient for the U.S. to have a major Jewish population outside of its borders. Jewish people are very smart, and they are very collective, which probably means that they will garner power easily. So basically, for a lot of these world moguls in the United States, like a bunch of these guys, they would rather have a Jewish state than have a Jewish menace, quote unquote, inside of America affecting their policy decisions and changing their culture. They are integrated basically, like friggin' Israel's like the 51st state. Like, they get all the products from the United States. Like, United States is backing Israel to the death. It is. It's like the last bastion of westernized style democracy in the East. So yeah, that's another point. Not wanting the Jewish population to gather anywhere else besides Israel. Number five, the fact that Jerusalem is located within Israel gets a lot of tourism to Jerusalem and to Israel. And Americans are all about capital. They're a capitalist country, based capitalist country in the world. They're all about their money. And it's a capitalist country that likes to make money. So why not stimulate the tourism industry by defending Israel? Because Jerusalem's a huge tourist destination. It's like sort of like equally comparable to Mecca in Saudi Arabia, with the Hajj and the pilgrimages of the Muslims that have to go there. It's basically like Christians are like, yes, Jerusalem, like the land where Jesus died, and David and Solomon's temple and all those great religious places. The U.S. doesn't know if they would be protected in the same manner if they fell into another government's hands, like Palestine, because there's some competing interests, especially over Solomon's temple and the mosque that's there above it, and the Great Wall, and all three major religions, Abrahamic traditions, really see value in that place, and that it's basically no one's territory. It's all three religions' shared territory. And they want the tourism industry to flourish, and so they don't really know if maybe it wouldn't be allowed to be given to Jerusalem, wouldn't be allowed to be given to Christians and Jewish people if it was taken over by Muslims. I don't think that's founded. I think that that Jerusalem will always stay a three divided city as long as it's existing. I think that all three religions recognize its importance. To conclude here, Palestinian resistance is it's in shambles. It's basically a shark without any teeth. Sorry, they don't have any technological advancement in their weaponry in 40 years, though. They really don't. They're still using the same backyard cook brewed missiles, backyard fucking workshop, goddamn missiles that they've been using for 40 years or for 30 years, and they don't really hit targets. Like, it's only about 3% of the time that it actually hits something, and it's only 1% of the time that it actually kills somebody. So the Israeli has a lot of weapons that are above that capacity. They have the hunter killers and all that stuff. Basically, Palestinians, I'm sorry, but you have to face facts. Israel would destroy your country if they wanted to. They did in 2008 with that invasion that they conducted. I know you guys put up a good fight for your size, but they still got pretty deep within you. And they can easily do it again. The only logical way of settling this problem is to integrate with Israel in a two-state solution. Protest the occupancy, yes, but within Israel. Do not join with Hezbollah and other radical Islamist groups. You will be defeated. It's a guarantee. Okay? Even if you manage to defeat Israel, you will still have the United States to take on after. The United States would easily invade without even a doubt. And I don't think there's any country in the world that can take on the United States military. They are above anything that we've ever seen on this planet. It's basically a lose-lose situation, because even if you win the battle against Israel, you will still be invaded. Sure, there might be other countries that help you out, but you'll be crushed. Like, you'll be so crushed. I'm trying to get this out there so that people understand that it's fruitless. You can't win against them. They'll be there for the rest of, as long as the United States is there. That's how it is. Okay, YouTube, I'm over 2 minutes, so I'll see you guys later. Love you guys. Freaking like, subscribe, do whatever you guys do. Keep believing, keep dreaming, and see you guys later.